Hello folks, welcome to the second part of the state management tutorial. We're going to get straight into it. What I want you to do is I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write at the top of the piece of paper 2 words: intent and healing. This video is part of a course that is for people who are of genuine intent, who really want to heal and really want to get on with their lives. They're sick of being stuck. They're sick of the mental health issues. They're sick of the emotional flashbacks. They want to get on with their lives. That's the only people I want to be speaking to right now. Everybody else, you go and do something else. Okay? Still with me? That's because you have a real intent to heal. Take out a pen and a piece of paper. If you're struggling in your life right now, this technique I'm going to show you for state management is going to really, really help. So every day until you feel comfortable, whenever you need it again in the future, you can do this technique again. You get up a little bit earlier than normal and you write down these 2 words, intent and healing. A little bit earlier than normal, first thing in the morning, it's nice and quiet, pen, paper, not your phone, a pen with your hand, which is this appendage on the end of your arm, and you write it in the real world. And you write the words intent and you underline it, and you write the word healing and you underline it. And then you're going to write down some things that you're going to do that day based on your intent that you are healing. Nobody is coming to save you. I'm not coming to your house. We're never going to be mates. Me and you, we're not going to be friends. We'll probably never meet. Nobody's coming to save you. None of the people you're watching on YouTube, nobody's coming. You're an adult now. It sucks to be in the position that you're in. I've been there. It's horrible. But if I mollycoddle you and I lie to you, you'll still be here in a year's time, in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time. How many good years do we get? How many years of youth and energy do we as human beings get? There isn't time to waste. I'm not coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. You are going to have to dig your way out. And if it means doing a half an hour, 20-minute exercise every day, getting outside your comfort zone, you're either prepared to save your ass and do that, or you are not. I hope for your sake that you are. Write down the word intent, write down the word healing. This process will be uncomfortable because you're now going to flex the muscles of intent. They're probably a little floppy, a little atrophied right now. You probably don't think about healing that much. You probably think about your mental health issues. You probably think, I have CPTSD. I had a fucked up childhood. I'm addicted to this. I get depressed. I get anxious. But we're not talking about that today because you've already talked about that, thunk about that, and read about that for years. And we're talking about healing, your healing. And we're talking about intent, your intent. Yours. It's not mine. It's not mine. My intent right now is to do this video for about 12 minutes. And then I'm going to leave this office. I'm going to lock the door and I'm going to go home. And then this, for me, will be over because I'm separate to you. You're a separate individual in a separate timeline to me. I hope this information gets to you and that you use it. Because if you do, your life will take off. If you're at the bottom, this technique will help your life to take off. You get up, you write down the word intent. You have an intent. Your intent is healing. What can you do today that helps you to heal? What can I do today? What can I do, not think, not read, not watch, do today that's going to help me to heal? Not feel better, not numb out, not distract, heal. Do you have the intent to heal? You already said yes. It's too late now. You already said yes. What can I do to help myself heal? Here's another muscle that's a little atrophied that we've got to work on, and we've got to work into it every day. Well, you may need to work into this every day for 20 minutes, for 60 days before it reactivates. Will you do that? Do you care enough about your life to do that? I hope that you do, because it's a precious gift. And if you can rescue yourself from this, you'll be a lot stronger in the future. So what can you do today to help yourself to heal? We're going to teach you to use your intent. We're going to teach you to focus on healing. Condition. Condition. You're going to do this again and again and again until it's conditioned into your mind. You're going to set your intent. You're going to focus the machine, the unconscious mind, on your healing now. And you're going to ask yourself, what can I do to help me heal today? What should you do first in the morning? What's going to be a good activity, the first thing that you should do that's going to help you heal today? Would it be to meditate? Would it be to write your goals down? The first thing you do. Would it be to walk outside and get some fresh air, get some sunlight, maybe listen to something? Maybe listen to this video, maybe listen to some other videos, maybe listen to some other speakers who you find inspirational. And then you can come back and write your goals down. You know, what can you do? What can you physically do that's going to assist you? Meditation or meditative style activity. If you need to draw in order to get into a cool emotional state, then do that. If you need to dance in order to get into a cool emotional state, you do that. Write down your goals for the day. Write down a list of things you need to get done that day. Write your goals down and include goals like, I want to feel good today. So you say, I'm going to go to the shop, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to take the cat to the vet, and I'm going to feel good. I want to feel good today, and I'm going to do something towards my healing today. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get up in the morning? What's your first activity? You choose it. You choose it. I recommend writing your goals down, spending a little bit of time getting into a meditative state. Some sort of gentle exercise that involves you going outside is always good. The very first thing in the day. So I highly recommend that. You've got stuff to do. As you're writing your goals down for the day, write down the stuff to do goals and write down that you're going to feel good. And then draw a picture of yourself or a smiley face or a dancing person or something that makes you giggle, that it goes down in the list of feeling good. And write down that you're looking to heal today. A little bit, a little step every day towards healing. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, what can I do to support myself in getting all this done? Okay. Binge watching a TV show on Netflix for 6 hours, that's not going to help. Watching a load of TV, that's not going to help. Staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning, that shit ain't going to help. Get up early. And start the day right. People with CPTSD and mental health issues, we can't do what everybody else does. We can't afford to just roll out of bed. You've got to have a discipline if you want to get better. You've got to have a structure and you've got to stick to it. And you've got to be tough and you've got to be strong, because those flabby muscles will be like, this hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. And you've got to be like, no, keep going, because only through use will they grow. They've got to be used in order to grow. So get up early, meditate, write your goals down, gentle exercise or hard exercise if you like, if you schedule it in there. Write down your actual goals for the day. Write down the goals for your life. You're going to write a book. You're going to direct a film. You're going to travel to Bangladesh. I don't know what you're doing. Write all that down. Make sure that you write down it's also your goal for the day to be feeling good and to move towards healing. Then you're going to ask yourself, what can I do to support myself? Well, sleeping unbroken for 7 hours plus will dramatically help you. Okay? In a regular pattern, get to sleep before 12 o'clock at night. Get up around 7 o'clock in the morning. Maybe a good schedule would be 11:30, 6:30. You're actually in bed, lights off, no phone, nothing at all, ready to sleep at 11:15. You go to sleep by 11:30 and you wake up at 7:30, and you do the same pattern every day. So sleeping unbroken is essential, and it needs to be at night, it needs to be in the dark, it needs to be in the quiet. Drink plenty of water. This is something else I can do, support myself during the day. I don't like the taste of water. Well, be an adult and just put it in your stupid body anyway. Or you can get some sort of light flavoring for the water. That also is acceptable. Carry a bottle of water out, stay hydrated all the live long day. Caffeine, sure, don't abuse it, because if you have CPTSD, if you're emotionally dysregulated, it can make you worse. All drugs, whether they're over the counter, prescribed or non-prescribed, if they alter your emotional state and your psychology, you've really got to do whatever you want to do what your religion says you should do what your doctor says that you should do, but you need to make some choices in your life, because if you're taking an exogenous, external substance that alters your hormonal state, your emotional state, your psychological state, it's impacting your state overall, and it might not be supporting you. So if you come to me and you go, I'm depressed, and we find out that actually you're dehydrated as shit and you've slept a total of 6 crap hours in the last 3 days, is your problem some psychological issue called depression? Or are you a physical entity running on empty? They're two different states. They're not the same thing. Like, I wouldn't get really, really tired, really hungry, run over by a bus, and then be all mangled and go, oh, this is anxiety. I'd be like, no, you got hit by a bus and you were exhausted anyway. That's a physical problem. It's not a mental one, right? Do we all know that? Sometimes when I'm reading stuff online about psychology, I'm not sure people know that there's a distinction there. So support yourself. Eat well. Eat the right amount for you. What is the amount of food that makes you feel good, light, energized, ready to take the world on? When should you eat? What should you eat? How should you eat? Should you be sat down? Should you be stood up? How do you take on your food? How do you do it? Maximize your energy. So whatever you're eating, whenever you're eating, think, is this going to support me in getting all of this done, feeling good, healing, because my intent is towards healing, or does it hinder me? If it doesn't support you, it's hindering you. So don't do it. Don't eat a load of food an hour before going to bed. That's not intelligent. It's like doing really high intensity cardio 2 hours before you're planning on sleeping. It's not going to work well for you. If you're sensitive to caffeine, don't drink any more caffeine after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Food wise, I don't have an opinion on what people shouldn't eat. As far as I can tell, it seems to be very much down to genetics and individuals. But that I know there are certain foods that I can and I can't eat. I've studied it. I've lived in this body now for a certain amount of time, a certain number of decades, and I've learned if I eat this food at this time, I'll feel good. If I eat this food and this amount after this much training or this much work, I'll feel good. And I'm feeling good, and my intent is towards healing. So sleep, drink the water, eat well. Drugs, I'm not going to tell you to do anything that is against what your doctor has told you to do, but certainly if you take recreational drugs on Saturday night and show up on Tuesday and tell me you're depressed, you're not depressed, you are a divvy, which is a Scouse term meaning a not very intelligent person. You take MDMA on Saturday, you snort cocaine and ketamine on Friday, you're going to feel bad on Tuesday, because that's how drugs function, homies. That's what it does to your body. Similarly, if you're drinking loads of alcohol, or even alcohol is one of these weird things that culturally everybody thinks is okay to do. I'm not against it. I'm not against recreational drugs. Do what you want. It's your body. But we're doing an exercise for people with mental health issues whose intent is to heal. You can't do both. You can't be like, oh, I'm really focused on my healing right now. Yeah, I got smashed out of my brains last night, and then the night before I was smoking loads of weed, and the night before that I was snorting coke. It's like, ladies and gents, some of these problems that you have, they're physical. You're not taking care of yourselves physically. Similarly with the eating thing, food, after I gave up drugs in my 30s, I switched to food and I got too heavy. And that then has a psychological and emotional impact. So the food thing is really, really critical. The more you sleep, the less you will want to eat. That's science. The more you sleep, the more fat you will burn, the more muscle you will retain. That also is scientifically proven. The more you sleep, the more beautiful you are. Truth. More water, more beauty, feel good, look good, happy days. Drugs age you. They make you a weirdo. I know. I have been a drug addict. They make your personality eventually turn to shit. They're always affecting you more than you think. You'll be like, I've only had a few drinks. I can take it. It's like, you think you can, but we can all see that you can't. So you've got to be really, really careful. Drugs, whether they're recreational and medical, you've got to question their usage. What else could you be doing to alter your state? Write it down now on the pen and piece of paper that you got because you're so committed to healing. What else could you do? What makes you feel good? What would move you towards healing? So you're asking the question here, what can I do that moves me towards healing and having fun? Some parts of the healing process are like where you get angry and you get sad and you cry and then the tears come out your nose and the snot runs down to your chin, and it's not pretty. Getting really angry, that's not pretty, but that's part of you. A lot of the healing process, though, in my experience, was doing this. It was just repetition. It wasn't hard. There's been moments that are like that, but they're few and far between over the years. Like major therapeutic incidents of crying and getting really angry over a 20-year consistent effort, 5, 6 times. It's not that bad. And I was doing all of the wrong things up until 6 years ago. I was flapping around trying different people's stupid made up systems of therapy that really weren't moving me forward. In the last 5 or 6 years, I formulated my own system for myself because one didn't exist that was out there. So when you think healing, don't think like crying and, you know, punching the pillow and going, I hate you, Mom. Maybe it will. Like, there might be days like that. But the 99.999% of you healing and getting better is just this. Chaos probably led you to where you are now. Whether it was a bad childhood or a bad relationship, it was probably chaos. Out of that chaos, you now need to bring order and structure. Chaos and darkness is like an infection, and it breeds chaos and darkness. Now we're bringing order and light, and we can have fun while we do that. Because if we've had CPTSD for years, we've had enough chaos and darkness, thanks. We'd like to heal. We'd like to be strong again, and we would like to enjoy the process. All of this is here, so you can get from one state to another state and enjoy the process as you move forward. Please do this for yourself. If you had a shit childhood, this is what your parents were not prepared to do, so you probably lack agency and you probably lack a decent executive function, decent self-governance. That was my problem as well. Making myself do exercises like this, it's not about being a badass. It's not about being hard. It's not about some big Herculean effort. It's daily grind. Just put it in, put it in, put it in, put it in. And then when you're not sure what to do, put it in, put it in, put it in, because that was what your childhood would have looked like. It was day after day after day. So now we have to counteract that day after day after day. Don't worry, you don't have to do as many days as was in childhood. This is more powerful than that because you're an adult now, not a child. If the trauma didn't come from childhood, if it came from a bad relationship or a bad situation that you were stuck in for a while, it's exactly the same principle. Nothing changes. The same principles apply. Please, please, please do this for yourself. It works. I'm living proof. It's nothing. There's no hard psychoanalytic concept here. There's no, weird technical terms. Insanity, which means non-sane, means non-healthy. Sane is an old, they still have it in Italian. It's an old Latin word for health. Insane, non-sane, non-healthy. Dirty, chaotic, dark. That's where we've come from. That's what brings us to a place where we'd want to bother to spend our time watching Fortress Mental Health Protection System videos instead of watching cute kittens fall off skateboards, right? So it was darkness and chaos, and we want order and light, structure, discipline, order, light, Summon it into your life. It works. The reason why all the religious systems across the world have some concept of prayer, some concept of summoning, some concept of asking for help is because it works. You want order and light and healing in your life. So you set your intent and you write it down and you do it. You have fun and you do it for the highest good of all concerned. Because if you heal, everybody heals more. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and for your attention. And I'm sure I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheers.